What's a relatively unknown technological invention that will have a huge impact on the future? Did you know that they have developed implants which can grow with you? Meaning that kids with faulty heart valves or damaged organs which require a synthetic element can undergo just one surgery as they're young and never have to have further surgeries for replacement as they grow. My housemate is a chemical engineer and she told me all about it. I thought it was interesting. Edit, holy shit, woke up, Im from Melbourne, to 54k likes. Glad you all found it interesting. I wish it was something I knew from my own field, but unfortunately lawyers don't come up with technology. Did you know that since last year no conveyancing has been done by paper? In Victoria, it's all done on electronic conveyance software. Not as interesting, but it is actually a huge thing for lawyers. I've had heart surgery 3 times for a faulty aortic valve, first to widen the biological one as I was too young for a mechanical, second for a mechanical replacement, third for a mechanical root as the valve was too damn powerful for my existing aortic root. Each time I've had full-on chest-splitting open heart surgery, and each time they've introduced a keyhole procedure to do the same thing within a year. And now you tell me I could have just had it once if I'd been born a few years later. Ah well, born a few years earlier, and I wouldn't be here at all, so swings and roundabouts. Edit, obligatory. Wow, this blew up. Shoulda realized that by far my most popular post on here would be about getting chest busted, not wry observations about life. Anyway, if you've got any questions, or you're about to go through this, or are worried about, honestly hit me up and I'll let you know my experiences. But the TLDR is modern medicine is amazing, doctors and nurses are the bloody best of us, and getting those drains tugged out hurts like Billy O. If it's any consolation, I now think you are a total badass tough mofo. Agreed. If it was me, the doctor would say, "What's that smell?" "Oh no. Nurse. The patient is crapping himself." Yeah, no, that was me too. Nobody doesn't shit they pants when they chest get cracked open. Low pressure solar powered drip irrigation systems. Some more information from it. Drip irrigation delivers water through a piping network to drip emitters that release the water directly at the base of the crops, avoiding water losses due to evaporation, runoff, and infiltration. Drip can reduce water consumption by 20 to 60% compared to conventional flood irrigation, and has been shown to increase yields by 20 to 50% for certain crops. Because irrigation accounts for over 70% of freshwater use in most regions of the world, large-scale adoption of drip irrigation would reduce the consumption of freshwater and be an asset for locations around the world experiencing water shortages and groundwater depletion. As a fan of anything efficient, I'm spinning. The invention of hypersonic missiles is starting an arms race not seen since the Cold War, and nobody seems to care. I'm assuming the benefit here is that these missiles can bypass current missile defense systems. Precisely, that, and they have basically infinite range. If it helps, there is tech being developed to counter that. Before he died, my dad was working on offshore missile interception with Raytheon to defend against these. I live near a Raytheon building, and they do missile interception stuff there. Always thought that was cool. Edit spelling, and I feel dumb for not noticing it. I'm on mobile though. Yeah, my dad was really jazzed about the work and found it very stimulating. I don't know the full details, just that he was working on that stuff and it was advanced tech. Realistically, the use of carbon grids to reproduce the catalytic effects of rhodium metal, commonly used in catalytic converters. Rhodium metal is currently trading at $13,000 Oz after a huge spike due to worldwide emissions restrictions that took effect in 2020. Long story short, there is only 2 places on Earth to effectively find this stuff, and it is going to run out, well before fossil fuels and other important building materials do. Replacing rhodium with carbon in catalytic purposes would save global manufacturers hundreds of billions a year and make many consumer goods much more affordable. Edit, in theory with the affordable part. It's a logical step: carbon hood, carbon converter, carbon wheels. The only stopgap is pricing. One day I will be able to walk into a dealership and buy a base model Corolla with a carbon fiber hood. With diamond windows and nanotube leather. And when nanotech becomes significantly advanced, the car will simply assemble itself using chemical mixtures of base elements and a fuel. Then if you get hungry you can flip a switch and turn your car into a 3-ton slice of lasagna. Gene therapy is no longer science fiction. My girlfriend got Luxturna surgery and the results have been amazing. She used to be unable to see at all at night and now she can guide herself without a cane. More treatments like that are going to keep coming and be standard before we realize it. Biotech science in general is undergoing a massive and amazing sea change right now. Gene therapy is a huge wave that's just getting started even now. And there are so many related applications that are really exciting. We are swiftly getting to the point of being able to edit safely. We can already teach your own modified immune cells to attack your cancer in things like CAR-T. And the field is really still in its infancy yet. Imagine fighting cancer effectively without the side effects of chemo. We will look back someday and think chemo was barbaric. Someone close to me went through chemo. To think that one day, it may be a thing of the past instead of a necessity makes me very hopeful for our future. Printed human skin and organs. My bet is on CRISPR, a genetic technology that enables DNA modification on live organisms, at a very low cost. Sadly, I cannot predict whether the impact will be positive or not. Any kind of advance in batteries and in the ability to store electrical energy. A huge portion of electronic devices are only limited in scope because of how much battery power it would require, and that's a field which has become largely stagnant. There are a few promising things out there but nothing actively in development, but such an advance in technology would unlock the potential of technology that already exists but is currently impractical. Edit, I'm not just talking about smartphones, but any device that runs on a battery. Particularly electric cars. Edit, hey folks, thanks for all the replies, definitely learning a ton about the subject. Not going to summarize it here, but look at the comments below to learn more because there's great info there. Also, as many have said, significant applications to renewable energy too. Lithium-sulfur batteries are in development right now that could make battery storage much cheaper than current lithium-ion and lithium polymer batteries. Lower cost batteries mean more people can afford to use them, and that's more internal combustion engines, replaced with electric motors. While I'm at it, battery recycling. Every element in a battery can be extracted and recycled into new batteries, especially the lithium. A former founding member of Tesla has actually already opened a plant to do just that. I'm a bit skeptical. There are dozens, if not hundreds, huge capacity and theoretically cheaper batteries out there that have never left the research phase. I'm not sure if Li-S is the same. There's often a trade-off with different chemistry, but we're seeing massive improvements in battery technology. My 2014 Tesla has the same amount of power in the battery, watts, as a new Model 3, but the new Tesla weighs over 1,000 pounds less, and has 80 more miles of range. Energy storing smart bricks that could one day turn the walls of our houses into batteries. That's really cool, especially how it changes the bricks blue. I can see the ad campaign now, blue brick batteries, what's in your walls? Just because you're not a millionaire, it doesn't mean you can't hide jewels in your house. Wireless EKG machines. As an epileptic, I'd be pretty into a wireless EEG too. As an epileptic, I'd love to see more accessible self-driving cars. Specifically, one that can take over and safely park and call 911 if it detects the driver having a seizure or other loss of consciousness. I would think a wireless EEG technology could play a huge part of that. My EEG showed me throwing off wonky seizure brain waves when I was perfectly fine but then didn't pick up when I actually had a seizure, during my 3-day ambulatory EEG. Brains are weird. Apparently that's called seizure potential and is exactly how they confirmed I had epilepsy and that it was triggered by a head injury when I was a baby toddler. But also, I was having minor seizures that my EEG didn't pick up, either, in my 24-hour ones or my 5-day inpatient one. It didn't catch my reaction to a very specific strobe speed pattern either, which is unfortunate because I know I'm reactive to a certain kind of strobing but because I tend not to be able to remember very well after, I don't know what type to be avoiding, or covering my eyes for, or being warned about. Mine required me to hit the button and mark when I thought I was having a seizure or felt one coming on, which is probably both for the purposes of marking where a seizure might be more clearly, and for marking it in case it's not a seizure but something else so that they can examine it more closely. I think it's possible that many seizures, depending on type, may not show changes above our seizure potential, but if it was a tonic-clonic seizure, I'm fascinated. Solid-state batteries. Maybe. From memory, larger capacity, much faster charging, and significantly longer life. Edit, I posted this late at night, based on a memory of a video I saw months ago. Read through the responses to find out that I'm not exactly correct, and it likely won't be the tech that replaces lithium ions. Still cool though.